Hal, I know it's the second one last of the day, and I can see very fresh faces in recruitment, and everyone's going to come out of this today and they'll be like, oh my God, I don't want to be in recruitment anymore. But look, thanks ever so much for coming, and what I will say is this, is that I like to feel that this is a safer environment. So things I'm going to say today are quite vulnerable. If you do feel triggered by it, please come and film and speak to me. But this is more of an open discussion. This is just be yourself, all right? This is going to be about conversation and be yourself. So we're going to start. This is the next one. Okay, so I want everyone to raise their hand now, genuinely, be honest. How many people here genuinely think that they hire fairly? Few hands. Quite, not a few then. Right, it's the hiring manager, isn't it? No, but yeah, look, and it's not us, it's the hiring managers. But it's one of them things, I'm not going to try and, it's not trying to out anyone today, it's not trying to see what you're doing wrong, it's basically just trying to give you some barriers where you might actually think, oh actually, do you know what, I'd never thought about that. And that's something you might be creating some unnecessary barriers. Now, this is a picture of me 10 years ago, paralytic. 10 years ago, I didn't know what was going on. And at that moment in time that I was actually going through various addictions, drug addiction, drink addiction, gambling addiction. And at that point, I was like, why can I not hold down a job? Why can I not have a conversation with someone without getting rejection? Someone's called me too much. Someone said that I'm too noisy, too sensitive. The standard labels that you get as an ADHD, being neurodivergent. I got diagnosed 7.5 years ago with ADHD. That moment in my life is when I changed. I'm now standing up on the stage, 7.5 years clean of all of that addiction. Thank you. Yeah, cool. And the thing that most people don't get is that ADHD is a naughty children, or you hear that, ADHD, that's the kid that's really naughty. But actually, it causes problems around hiring. You might see a CV, you think, oh, look at the CV, it's a bit hoppy. That was me. Or it might be someone like, for example, this person couldn't keep eye contact in an interview, they're not confident. Okay, so I'm going to go through a few things now. So who am I? It looks a bit like Madonna's Vogue magazine, but sorry about that. So I spent 11 years in tech recruitment. I haven't got any hair because of the stress of it. But anyway, I'm a senior talent acquisition at Sony Sports, Hawkeye. So if you're seeing the World Cup, the VAR, don't come up to me about the VAR. But it's we obviously provide all the officiation towards sports. And yeah, obviously ADHD, diagnosed 7.5 years ago, and I'm on medication, but not today. So the reality of neurodiversity, one in estimate, if we get a raise of hands here, who knows someone that's neurodivergent? Maybe you've got kids that are neurodivergent, you've got a friend, family, uncle. Looking around, there's a lot, right? There's a lot going out there right now as well. So 1 in 5 estimated to be neurodivergent at work. That could be diagnosed, undiagnosed. 2 in 3 don't disclose at work. You're probably thinking, well, why wouldn't you want to disclose that? There's a lot of shame, really. I used to feel like I was the problem. Oh, I couldn't have a conversation at work with my stakeholders without getting the wrong end of the stick. There's a lot of masking, and when we talk about masking, we're hiding that we're neurodivergent. You might ask me a question, and I say, yeah, do you know what? I really understand that. And then I walk away from that conversation having absolutely no clue what you're on about. Now, the reality check that every recruitment process is likely to have neurodivergent candidates, especially what I think in tech. That's where we can escape. So whether you know or not, you're dealing with candidates on a daily basis that apply for your jobs that could be neurodivergent as well. So I'm going to go to a bit of a myth-busting session, and one of these things is like, do we offer the right reasonable adjustments? So I'm going to go to the myths for it. So reasonable adjustments, are they expensive? No, we don't need neurodiversity specialists. Also, obviously, it's good when you get the business at that point. But do we really, what kind of like reasonable adjustments can we give to candidates? Are we actually effectively offering candidates the right reasonable adjustments so they can perform the best at their ability at interview as well? Treating everyone is fairness. So now we all have like these interview questions. We have to ask them as a hiring managers or a TA, all set questions that are all the same. Now, everyone will probably think, hang on a sec, well, if I ask all the same questions and treat candidates exactly the same, that's fair. But actually, what effectively you're doing, you're creating a barrier for people not to be able to be themselves. That could be anything from, which I'll come to later in the slides, anything from writing the questions out. So if you asked me a question today and said, oh, what's this, Tom? And I'd be like, oh, yeah, this is this answer. But actually, I could actually give you a better answer if you type that question out. Simple thing like that. So inclusive hiring is only for neurodivergent people. Absolutely not true at all. The thing is, what people say is, and all these sort of things and tips that I'm going to give you in a minute, is that a lot of people think, well, this is just for neurodivergent people as well. But actually, it benefits everyone. It benefits everyone at work. It benefits with everyone with communication. Just like I said, clearer communication at work benefits everyone. Context. If someone said to me, oh, I want to give you a catch-up meeting at 4 a.m. on a Friday, I'd definitely be thinking, I need to get a new job. But actually, what that meeting was a marketing meeting. I'm sweating there all day, worrying about, oh, I need to update my CV. What have I done wrong? Blah, blah, blah. So it benefits everyone to know not just from clearer communication, but also what to expect in an interview. We all want to know what's going on in an interview. Who am I meeting? What time is that? What process does that look like? Okay, how long is the process going to take? We all probably applied for jobs here and thought, Christ, it's been a month. Suddenly, 2 months later, you're getting a rejection email. You're thinking, hang on a sec, 2 months later, no one's let me know. But they suddenly think, oh, I probably forgot about applying for that job anyway. But do you know what I mean? They're the kind of things. And also, blue smarties that don't make you neurodivergent and give you ADHD. That's another one as well. That's a myth buster. So the candidate's journey, who raise their hand, for anyone, just so you can shout out as much as you want, where do you think the biggest barrier is for candidates? Shout out, by the way. You just shout out. Interview, yeah? Advert? Where? Advert. You'd be right, yeah. So there's barriers on each stage of the process, but mostly it can be the job advert. But actually, out of that, it's actually your first interaction with the company. Is that company giving me the right information? Is that company inclusive? Are they giving me the right information where I feel safe? Yeah, that's just so important to have. People say safe environment, whatever. Safer. I want to feel safer when I'm applying for a job. And the thing is with it, you're putting people off. We've all had like job description, whereas everyone, I really want to, I'm going to say ginger bearded guy then, but we don't want that. Well, we really want this like unicorn. We really want this, we're fast paced. We're so social. Now, when you've got autism, for some people, social situations, difficult. So already you're putting a barrier up, but actually that person could change the whole company's ethos, engineering, whatever that looks like. The company could actually be missing out on hiring people. Now that doesn't just start from the job advert, that's all the way from application, interview. And the key thing is when you are recruiting, the thing that I always say is when I'm speaking to candidates or when I'm actually having a conversation, ask yourself, am I assessing that candidate at the ability? Or am I actually creating an unnecessary barrier for them? Yeah? So there's 6 things that you could change tomorrow. And guess how much it costs you? Absolutely nothing. So I'm going to go through them. And I don't want everyone to feel like, oh, actually, 6 things. This is going to be quite hard at work to try and change loads of different things tomorrow. All you want to be doing is just change one. One thing that could let someone else have an opportunity that they've been told they were never good enough. They were told they were never good enough. They would never make an interview process because they didn't have the right skill set or didn't give the right chance or ability to apply for a job. And this is the kind of things that you can change. Anyway, so one of them, write clearer job adverts, as I said, fast-paced, all that sort of stuff. Be clear. Tell candidates what to expect. We all want to know what's going on. I hate surprises. So if anyone tells me, this is what the process looks like, you're kind of hand-holding me, this is who's going to be in the interview, this is what we're going to go through. That's just small things that we can do for people. Offer reasonable adjustments before people ask. Now, everyone won't always, when you've got like, when you look at applications like, hey, do you need any reasonable adjustments? Or do you have a like hidden disability? I think nearly like 30%, I don't know the exact figure, but nearly 30-40% don't disclose, just because the fear of being singled out. They feel like they're not going to get the job, it's going to hinder. Sorry, I've got sun cream in my eyes. So yeah, that's one of the things. Ask one question at a time, sorry. It's sun cream. Ask one question at a time. So when we obviously are interviewed with our either hiring managers or TA, is that we always do one question, then do a follow-up, give people time to process that. Anyone likes time to process it. Use structured interviews, make sure the structure's right, and obviously the last one, ask feedback. I always ask people, what do you think I need to improve? So last bit now. Sorry, yeah, I put so much sun cream on because I'm bald and ginger. It's getting suns. I have to even look at the sun. I'm like garlic to a vampire. So basically, the change. Every person in this room change just one thing tomorrow. Imagine how many more brilliant people we'd give the opportunity to show what they're capable of. And that's what it is showing people, showing their ability that in any interview that people can show their best self to go on and thrive as a neurodivergent individual or anyone and purpose. Really appreciate your time. Thank you.